Okay, so we can begin now.
The Indus Valley civilization became quite notable for its excellence in urban planning and artifacts. The artifacts discovered at the excavation sites help us to understand and reconstruct the life of the Indus people. Let's take a look at some of these discoveries. This bronze figurine of a dancing girl was found in the lower city of Mohenjo-daro. It is about 4.5 inches in height. One can clearly see that the sculptors of this civilization had mastery in casting bronze. The dancing girl's hair is nicely tied in braids. Her arms are full of bangles and her neck is adorned by a necklace of semi-precious stones. This statue clearly reflects women's style of dressing during the Indus Valley period. A similar figurine in copper alloy was also found during the later excavations in Mohenjo-daro. At some sites, terracotta figurines such as this one have been found. These probably have a religious significance. Historians believe that these figurines may be representatives of Mother Goddess and indicate fertility. The elaborate headgear adds to the mystery surrounding these figurines. Since no temples have been found at the excavated sites, these figurines shed light on the religious ideas and beliefs of the people. This stone sculpture, popularly known as the Bearded Man, was found at Mohenjo-daro. The sculpture reflects on the fact that some men of that period might have kept beards and combed their hair backwards. The beautiful shawl embossed on this statue indicate good knowledge of embroidery. Historians also believe that the Indus people probably grew cotton and made textiles out of it. The gold headband on the sculpture has led many to believe that this man could have held an important position as a priest or a king. A gold headband with similar design was discovered during the excavations. A few other pieces of jewelry have also been found. These suggest that there were a few rich people in the cities. It is believed that both men and women of those times wore ornaments. These ornaments exhibit a remarkable level of craftsmanship. These can be clearly seen in the ornaments which are made out of gold, carnelian and agate. The ornaments also indicate the extent of trade with Rome and other places in the Middle East. For instance, this pendant or brooch has a delicate inlay work of lapis lazuli beads which could have been traded from Afghanistan. Despite their size, these beads have been skillfully capped with gold. Several toys have been found at the Indus Valley excavation sites. These were largely made of terracotta or baked clay. The toys also indicate that the Indus people were highly creative and imaginative. These toys have been shaped in the form of various animals and dolls to much more complicated toys. The games that were unearthed are rather complex and challenging. Some of the terracotta board games are quite similar to present-day games such as chess. It is believed that pottery was an important industry in the Indus Valley. Several pots, jars and urns were made locally. They were made using a potter's wheel. Pieces of red pottery which have been decorated with black paint have been found at all the excavation sites. These pots probably served various purposes and were also used for trade. The seals are usually rectangular blocks made out of clay, soapstone or copper. Apart from the indecipherable Indus script, these also had engravings of animals such as elephants or the humped bull. The relief of the unicorn or one-horned beast standing in front of an incense burner probably indicates its role in a religious ceremony. The biggest mystery regarding the Indus civilization is its script. It has not yet been deciphered. If deciphered, they could be a valuable source of information.
So, do we have any questions related to that? टेराकोटा, देखो सोप स्टोन मतलब जिससे सोप बनता है, और टेराकोटा एक तरीके की जैसे मिट्टी से जो चीजें बनाई जाती है ना पका के, उसे एक तरीके की मिट्टी होती है. आर्टिफैक्ट्स मतलब जो आर्कियोलॉजी में हम छोटा छोटा सामान निकालते हैं ना, उसे हम आर्टिफैक्ट्स कहते हैं.
Ma'am, what are ornaments?
ऑर्नामेंट्स मतलब गहने.
मैम, पहले के लोग भी सोप यूज करते थे.
बिल्कुल करते थे.
मैम, बट सोप तो कॉस्टिक सोडा से बनता है ना.
बेटा सोप बहुत तरीकों से बनता है.
मैम, उसमें झाग आता था क्या?
बेटा वो मैं नहीं बता सकती, लेकिन सोप स्टोन जो है वो नेचुरली अकर करता है. एंड प्लीज यूज हेडफोन्स, क्योंकि ना पूरा आवाज मेरे को इको होने लग जाती है. हाँ मैम, मैम मत किया करो, चैट बॉक्स में कुछ लिखा करो. आई विल गिव यू अ चांस टू स्पीक अप. समझ में नहीं आता है मुझे कि कौन बोला क्या बोला. साबुन बहुत तरीके से बनते हैं, बट दैट इज नॉट द पॉइंट दैट वी हैव टू डिस्कस. वी जस्ट नीड टू सी कि आज से इतने 3000 साल पहले भी हमारे पास ये सारी चीजें थी. यस आरुष बोलो.
मैम, जो पहली सिटी थी उसका नाम हड़प्पा क्यों रखा गया?
बेटा हड़प्पा आज के टाइम पर है. वो आज के टाइम पर जहां पर खुदाई हुई ना, उस जगह का नाम हड़प्पा है. yes, soaps can be made of different ways and varieties. सोप हमारा फोकस नहीं है, हमें ये फोकस करना है कि वहां पर उनको क्या क्या मिला. ठीक है. सो आई विल मूव अहेड. अभी डिस्कशन बंद करो. भटकना नहीं है बेटा. जो हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं ना, क्यूरियोसिटी इज गुड, लेकिन ज़्यादा भटक जाएंगे तो फिर हम लोग जो है कुछ समझ ही नहीं पाएंगे जो काम की चीज़ है उसे।
The Indus Valley Civilization, a flourishing civilization in the Indian subcontinent, reached its peak between 2500 BC and 2000 BC. However, around 3,900 years ago, signs of decline of this great civilization were evident. So, what were the signs of decline? To begin with, people stopped living in these cities. Many things, such as seals, weights, and writings, fell out of use. Materials, whether raw or finished, were no longer brought from distant places, suggesting an end in trade. Soon many of these cities were in a dilapidated condition. For instance, consider the changes that happened in Mohenjo-daro. The streets of Mohenjo-daro had garbage piled on them. The drainage system broke down and didn't function. The new houses built in the city were smaller and less impressive compared to old ones. Sometimes houses were built over the streets. Over a period of time, the rulers lost control over the cities. Many theories abound with respect to the decline of this once flourishing civilization. One theory is that the decline happened due to the drying up of rivers. As you know, rivers were crucial to the growth and sustenance of settlements. When rivers dried up, there was shortage of water. This affected agriculture and eventually led to the decline of the civilization itself. Another theory suggests that natural disasters such as droughts and floods could have wiped out the civilization. This could have also happened with a river changing its course. Yet another theory suggests that man-made disasters such as deforestation may have caused the decline. People relied on forests for grazing cattle, for fuel to bake bricks, and so on. So when forests were destroyed, the civilization declined eventually. However, none of these theories completely explain the decline of all cities. Drying up of a river, flooding or drought, or deforestation would have had an impact on a few cities only, not the full region. Whatever be the reason, the civilization came to an end around 1500 BC. When did the Indus Valley civilization begin to decline?
Okay. एक सेकेंड। So the great bath was found at Mohenjo-daro. ट्रेड मीन्स जहाँ पर आप एक्सचेंज करते हैं किसी चीज का फ्रॉम विद मनी और विद सम गुड्स। एंड सिटाडेल, सिटाडेल मतलब जो अपना हड़प्पा में मिला था सिटाडेल। एंड डेलिटरेटेड तो बेटा वर्ड मुझे थोड़ा गलत लग रहा है, बोल के बताओ मुझे एक बार, स्पेलिंग गलत है मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है। There is one more video, that's just watch and finish this chapter for now. तो हम लोग क्या नेक्स्ट क्लास में इस चैप्टर के आपके जितने भी डाउट्स होंगे और जितना भी आपको अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम होती है और क्वेश्चन आंसर्स होते हैं, ये सारे काम हम करेंगे। क्वेश्चन आंसर मैं तुम्हें बता दूं, आज अभी मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले 7th क्लास ली एंड आई डिड नॉट हैव टू आस्क एनी सिंगल रिपीटेशन फ्रॉम एनीबडी। इतने सारे लोग क्वेश्चंस लेके तैयार थे, क्वेश्चन आंसर लेके तैयार थे। इट मेड मी वेरी हैप्पी and as a way I rewarded them with a very nice and very fun video, and if you do that I will do the same for you. तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग सारे क्वेश्चंस करके आओ, so it will be good.
Okay, ma'am.
बेटा please mute your mics.
Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you.
And the word is deliberated.
Deliberated मतलब deliberately, जो कि जानबूझ के किया गया. Now we'll see just a comparison with the Egyptian civilization, which was flourishing at the same time in Africa.
The Egyptian civilization is known for its mysteries, its pharaohs, its grandiose pyramids, and also as the land of the river Nile. Let's take a look at some of these aspects that shaped the ancient Egyptian civilization. One of the wonders of the ancient world, the Great Pyramid at Giza, was built over 4,000 years ago. King Khufu, the pharaoh of Egypt, had ordered the construction of this great pyramid. Before building the pyramid, the Egyptians had used their knowledge of astronomy to decide the direction in which to build the pyramid. Over 200,000 men worked for more than 20 years to build this megastructure. These workers were mainly farmers and common laborers. They came from all over Egypt. They shaped huge blocks of stone using copper and rock hammers. Once shaped, these huge blocks of stone were carried manually by the workers. Sledges made out of logs of wood were used for this purpose. After this 48 stories high structure was built, its stepped exterior was carved down to create 4 smooth sides. The stone slabs on the exterior were fit so tightly that not even a hair could fit between them. In the inside, the pyramid had a complex system of tunnels. In the heart of the pyramid, 3 burial chambers were made. The pyramid was the eternal home for the pharaoh's mummified remains and spirit. Pyramids thus ensured the immortality of the pharaoh. All this was done because Egyptians believed in life after death. They believed that death was just another beginning. The Great Pyramid at Giza is one of the oldest surviving wonders of the ancient world. Ancient Egypt thrived because of the river Nile. Little wonder that Egypt is called the gift of the Nile. The main occupation of the Egyptians was agriculture. Their chief crops were wheat, barley, and millet. They also grew vegetables and fruits. Many Egyptians lived and farmed along the river Nile. The river Nile used to flood every year, thus making the land around it very fertile. For the rest of the year, Egyptians used irrigation wheels such as these to get water from the Nile. The Nile was also used for transport. Boats known as feluccas such as these were used. Transportation on the Nile helped boost trade and commerce. Ancient Egypt was known for its art and craft. Craftsmen such as potters, goldsmiths, sculptors, carpenters made various objects. These were made on the request of the nobility. Various sculptures in bronze and even gold have been found in the pyramids in Egypt. They throw light not only on the lifestyle of the ancient Egyptians, but also tell us of their skill in molding metals into different forms. The gold cover for the mummy of Tutankhamun is one of the finest examples of the work of the goldsmiths. carpenters carved out beautiful toys such as this boat. Paintings were made on papyrus, a kind of paper. The ink they used was made by mixing soot, gum, and water. The details of these paintings tell us about how people dressed, the jewelry they wore, and the kind of hairstyles they had. Undoubtedly, the skill of the craftsmen of ancient Egypt is evident in the beauty of their work.
Tutankhamun was a king of Egypt, and his tomb was discovered by Egyptian. The pyramids were basically a kind of tomb for the dead bodies. Felucas. Let me check what felucas were. I need to be sure. Yes, it is supposed to be a traditional type of sailboat. Let me see, there are other questions also. Astronomy means the study of stars. It was their part of their culture. Pharaohs are the term that is used for kings in Egypt, and लेट मी सी एस्ट्रोनॉमी. ठीक है, एस्ट्रोनॉमी मैंने तुम लोगों को क्लियर कर दिया है. यस आरुष, व्हाट डू यू वांट टू से?
मैम वो लोग उन्हें कैसे वो कर देते थे राजा? मैम उसमें क्या होता था पिरामिड्स के अंदर?
पिरामिड्स के अंदर डेड बॉडीज होती थी बेटा. यस देवांश.
मैम जो मैन लोग होते थे इजिप्ट के, वो लोग डॉग मास्क ही पहनते थे.
It was a part of their culture. It was like representing their god. They believed that their god Horus used to look like that. Yes, Anushka.
मैम लोग बोलते कि पिरामिड्स के अंदर मम्मीज होती है, इसका क्या मतलब है?
बेटा डेड बॉडी होती थी ना, उसको मम्मी में कन्वर्ट किया जाता था. जैसे इन हिंदू कल्चर डेड बॉडीज आर बर्न्ड, इन इस्लामिक एंड क्रिश्चियन कल्चर्स डेड बॉडीज आर बरीड अंडर द अर्थ. ये लोग क्या करते थे, उसके लिए कॉफिन जैसा बनाते थे और उसके अंदर डेड बॉडी को प्रिजर्व रखने के लिए उसके ऊपर तरह तरह के केमिकल्स लगाते थे, एंड दे यूज टू कीप डेड बॉडीज देयर इन द टूम्स. एक मिनट अक्षत, हैव सम पेशेंस बेटा. मैं जब बात खत्म करूंगी उसके बाद ही आपको मौका दूंगी ना. यस अक्षत.
मैम फलूकास में क्या अंतर रहता था मैम नॉर्मल बोट से?
बेटा एक तरीके की बोट्स रहती हैं. अब देखो बहुत अलग अलग तरीके की बोट होती है. सी बोट होती है और ऐसी बोट्स होती हैं जो ओशंस क्रॉस कर जाती हैं. बस अलग अलग तरीके की बोट्स होती हैं. वी डू नॉट नीड टू गो टू मच इनटू दिस इन डेप्थ अबाउट दिस वन. यस, एनीथिंग एल्स? ये छोटे तरीके के पुराने बोट्स थे. एनीबॉडी? अगर इजिप्शियन
वो लोग ना डेड बॉडी को प्रेजर्व क्यों करते थे?
क्योंकि बेटा उन लोगों के कल्चर में ऐसा माना जाता था दैट डेथ इज नॉट द एंड. कि उनको ऐसा लगता था दैट आफ्टर दैट देयर इज अ डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड, और जब वहां पर इंसान जाएगा सो दे शुड हैव एवरीथिंग दैट दे हैड इन दिस वर्ल्ड सो दैट दे कैन लिव कंफर्टेबली इन द अदर वर्ल्ड. तो जो रिच और इन्फ्लुएंशियल हुआ करते थे, दे यूज्ड टू मेक टूम्स फॉर देम. यस देवांश. बोलो
मैम ग्रेट पिरामिड में भी मम्मीज रहती थी.
बेटा. सारे जो अपने पिरामिड्स ऑफ गीजा है ना, उसमें तो मम्मीज थी. यस देवांश बोलो.
मैम वो लोग जो बॉडी होती थी उन्हें प्रिजर्व इसलिए करते थे, उन्हें लगता था कि ये जो बॉडीज है वो आगे चल के फिर से जिंदा हो जाएंगी.
नहीं, वो तो जो है मिथिकल बात है, पर उनका ये मानना था कि बॉडी को प्रिजर्व रखेंगे तो आत्मा को शांति मिलेगी. सो दैट विल बी ऑल फॉर टुडेज क्लास। हम लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा और बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चैप्टर खत्म किया है एंड आई विल बी एक्सपेक्टिंग आंसर्स फ्रॉम यू इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास। अभी तक जो है हम लोगों ने कोई बहुत अच्छा डिस्कशन सेशन किया नहीं है बेटा। सो लेट्स हैव अ गुड डिस्कशन सेशन। बढ़िया से क्वेश्चन आंसर्स ढूंढ के लाओ, हम लोग सब उस पर डिस्कशन करेंगे एंड वी विल हैव फन। इफ इट इज गुड देन आई विल शो यू सम इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियोस आल्सो। यस सूर्यांश।
मैम क्या वो मम्मी बनकर डेड बॉडीज चलती थी?
नहीं बेटा, ये तो ना फिल्मों की फालतू की बात है, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है, डेड बॉडीज थोड़ी चलती हैं।
मैम हिस्ट्री में कोई एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चंस नहीं होते?
बेटा अगर हमें लगेगा कि एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चन करने हैं हम आपको बता देंगे। ओके
यस मैम।
Sai Ram, please start leaving the meeting. Thank
Sairam
you.
ma'am and thank you
Thank
ma'am.
you, Sai ma'am.
Sai
Thank you, ma'am.
Ram, Sai
Sairam
Ram,
ma'am and thank
thank
you ma'am.
Sai ma'am, and thank you, ma'am.
Sai Ram, thank you, all of you. Thank you. Bye, beta.
Bye,
Bye
ma'am.
ma'am, thank you
Bye,
ma'am।
ma'am.
Bye ma'am.
Thank you, beta.
Bye
Sai
ma'am।
Ram, thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, beta. Bye bye. Thank you.